Hello and welcome to a slightly different video here on the channel. If you haven't noticed, a lot of my videos, in fact all of them, are rather scripted and planned and set up accordingly. Believe it or not, there is some level of planning that goes into them. And I've been in a bit of a lull lately with what I want to make videos on and what I want to make content about. I've actually written at least one or two other scripts for different videos, and I had partially started editing one, but I wasn't really loving where they were going, so I put them on the sideline, kind of scrapped them for now, come back to them maybe at a later date. But today we're doing something pretty cool. We're gonna be using Chat GPT. Everybody's heard of this by now, I'm sure. OpenAI, super cool, super interesting. I've been using it here and there just for funs and giggles. I've been playing around with it with some Star Wars stuff, with some YouTube content ideas and whatnot, but there's one thing in particular that I'm really curious to see how much we can get the AI to really flesh it out, and that is kind of its take on the life of Anakin Skywalker, and specifically relating the parallels between his life and the real world, if that makes any sense. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's start prompting this bad boy. Real simple, tell me about the life of Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker is a fictional character in the Star Wars franchise. He was born a slave on the desert planet of Tatooine, discovered by Jedi Knight Qui-Gon Jinn. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Chosen one, struggled with the code and his emotions, particularly his love for Padme Amidala. He ultimately turned to the dark side of the Force and became Darth Vader, serving as the right-hand man of the Sith Lord Palpatine. Okay, so a rather basic overview so far. Let's get it to go a little bit deeper. Can you draw parallels between the experience of his life and the real world? Specifically, metaphors. Let's see what it gives me with that. Anakin Skywalker's story in the Star Wars franchise has been interpreted as a metaphor for various real-world themes and experiences. I love how sometimes, I don't know how experience you guys have with Chat GPT, but you'll kind of prompt it, and it's almost like the typical grade school answer where you're taught to repeat the answer back in, or excuse me, the question back into your answer when you begin, right? One of the most common interpretations is that his fall to the dark side represents the dangers of unchecked ambition and power. This theme is also depicted in the story of the Greek myth of Icarus, who flew too close to the sun and his wax wings, with his wax wings, and fell to his death. Another interpretation of Anakin's story is that it represents the struggle of growing up and the challenges of navigating the transition from adolescence to adulthood. Anakin's story from being a slave on Tatooine to a Jedi Knight and the Sith Lord can be seen as a metaphor for the struggle to find identity and purpose in life and the dangers of giving into fear and anger. Additionally, Anakin's relationship with Padme Amidala is often interpreted as a metaphor for the destructive nature of forbidden love and the sacrifices of the individuals make for the people they care about. Overall, Anakin's story can be seen as a cautionary tale, warning against the dangers of unchecked ambition and power, the struggles of growing up, and the sacrifices that individuals make for the people they care about. I find it interesting that it didn't talk about any of his, like the parts of his story that's redemption. So we're gonna focus on. I mean, this is good. This is interesting. I'm enjoying its perspective here. But let's go a little deeper into that. Can you expand on this, but in regards to his path towards redemption? This is the part of Anakin's story that I really love. I mean, it all kind of exists cohesively, all parts of it, obviously, but Anakin Skywalker's path towards redemption is another important aspect of his character arc in the Star Wars franchise. I would argue it's the most, but, you know, to each their own. After years of serving as Darth Vader, the right-hand man of the Sith Lord Palpatine, and committing numerous atrocities, Anakin ultimately comes to realize the error of his ways and chooses to redeem himself. One interpretation of this is that it serves as a metaphor for the possibility of redemption and the power of second chances. Here we go, this is cool stuff. Anakin's redemption shows that even the most corrupted and evil individuals have the capacity to change and make amends for their past actions. It also suggests that forgiveness and the possibility of redemption is always open to those who are willing to change and make sacrifices for the greater good. Another interpretation is that Anakin's redemption is a representation of the power of love and family. His love for his son Luke ultimately leads him to sacrifice himself to save Luke and defeat Palpatine. This represents the idea that love and family can be a powerful force for change and can inspire individuals to make sacrifices for the ones they care about. In this way, Anakin's path towards redemption can be seen as a powerful and nuanced metaphor for the possibility of redemption and the power of love and family. Wow. Okay, see, now this is good stuff here. I'm impressed by that. Yeah, I like that it kind of tied both of those statements back in together, because I was going to say it mentioned as another interpretation is that Anakin's redemption is a representation of the power of love and family. I would say that these go hand in hand. The possibility of redemption and the power of second chances ultimately comes through a form of love from people around us, right? And in Anakin's case, he harmed a lot more than just the people close to him. He harmed the whole galaxy, but the catalyst and the eye-opening moment for him came through somebody that loved him, and I think that's often very true in life. Most people aren't necessarily the greatest at extending a level of, we'll call it grace, to people that they don't know. So this is beautiful. I like this. I'm gonna try to expand a little bit more, specifically on the Luke and the power of love and family. Okay, explain more of how Luke's love is significant and what his love in this story represents metaphorically. Let's see if we can't get her to expand a little more here. Alright, in the Star Wars franchise, Luke Skywalker's love for his father Anakin is a significant aspect of the story and serves as a powerful metaphor for the themes of redemption and forgiveness. Luke's love for his father is a constant throughout the series, even when he learns the truth about his father's past as Darth Vader. That's a little... well, he meets him as Darth Vader first. We're gonna ignore that for now. This love is an important factor in Anakin's redemption. I love when it refers to him as Anakin, because the redemption is Anakin. That's true. As it is his love for Luke that ultimately leads him to turn away from the dark side of the Force and sacrifice himself to defeat the Sith Lord Palpatine. Metaphorically, Luke's love for his father represents the idea that love and forgiveness can be a powerful force for change. Even in the face of evil, Luke's unconditional love for his father, despite all the atrocities he has committed as Darth Vader, represents the idea that forgiveness and redemption are possible for even the most corrupted individuals. So kind of a repeat of what it said before, but I mean, what do you expect? It's kind of was hitting the nail on the head there. So additionally, Luke's love for his father represents the power of family and the bonds of blood. His love for his father is a reminder that family is an important aspect of one's identity, and that the love of family can inspire individuals to make sacrifices to the ones they care about. You know, I think you could expand a little bit more on that, and it goes beyond the bonds of blood, I'm sure, as many people experience. Specifically in this story, of course, like, Luke is related to him, but I mean, even within the Star Wars story, you see that it goes beyond the blood. I mean, Han and Chewie, they all kind of come in. Even 3PO and R2-D2, even though they're technically droids and maybe don't technically have emotions, they definitely represent a love that goes beyond that. And a sense of friendship that really comes around Luke. So it's still great. I still love what it's saying here. In summary, Luke's love for Anakin serves as a powerful metaphor for the themes of redemption, forgiveness, and the power of family and love in the Star Wars franchise. That's so true, though. And that's probably most of you watching this and experience Star Wars. Like, you've gotten this message from it in one way or another. We all understand that Return of the Jedi was the return of Anakin Skywalker from Darth Vader. There's a lot of beauty in that. There's a lot of, I mean, simple imagery, but just sometimes simple truth is the most beautiful. And that's what a lot of us come to love about Star Wars. Certainly what I love about Star Wars. Well, I think that just about does it here for this video. Hope you all enjoyed this less than typical content for me. A nice conversation, super interesting to see Chat GPT expand and grow when the new version comes out. I'm real curious to see what its capacities are. If you guys enjoy these videos, maybe we can do some more fun things with AI and see what it has to offer. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment down below on anything you'd like to see in the future, or just tell me what you liked, or maybe even what you had to eat today. I don't really care, and we'll see ya in the next one.